5,
4, 3.
For decades, so many of the nation's favourite and best-known programmes came from one place. A place some even celebrated in their opening titles. Saturday was, of course, in many ways one of the most important days for the BBC, and for close to 15 years, Noel Edmonds was crucial to that. First in the morning with multicoloured Swap Shop, and then later with Noel's House Party.
Television Centre captured the hearts of the nation, and I think millions of people felt a sense of ownership. In some respects, the same sort of ownership they would feel for Windsor Castle or Buckingham Palace. It was something with which they could identify. It didn't matter whether you lived in Bradford or whether you lived in Glasgow or Northern Ireland or whatever. People would go down Wood Lane and say, oh, that's the BBC Television Centre.
No, he's not Pebble Mill at 7. He's Wogan.
For many of the well-known faces who presented shows from a building even more famous than them, this is an emotional day.
A sadness, immense sadness. Of course, it's only a building, and I suppose change has to happen. But sometimes, you know, change is not always for the better, and this is such an iconic building. And for me, you know, the home of the greatest television service in the world.
Television Centre and the programmes it brought to the nation played a huge part in helping the BBC achieve that reputation. And from its first beginnings, such was the affection felt for it.
Unfortunately, though, this is the most complicated building in the world.
By both audiences and broadcasters, it often featured in many of the shows filmed on its premises. But Television Centre's greatest significance is the way that for more than half a century, its broadcasts have stood at the heart of what the BBC has set out to accomplish. To educate and to inform, and, just as importantly, to entertain.
Nice to see you. To see you!
Exterminate!
Rodney, don't be a plonker all your life.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.